We came together as a group of agriculture leaders back in the late 1990s to really start working on the Master Settlement Agreement. And we were able to accomplish what we were able to do because we all came together as agriculture leaders. We came together not as cattlemen wanting something, or the grain people wanting something, or tobacco people wanting something, but we came together and all agreed that we needed to invest some of that tobacco settlement money back into agriculture. And we went to Frankfurt with one accord and one voice, and we were able to accomplish that.
It's interesting to go all over this country and hear people talk about what's going on in Kentucky. Kentucky is a model for the advancement of agriculture in this country, and that's just not something that I say idly, but it's something that you go out and hear people talk about and ask you about, and it's quite phenomenal that that can take place here in Kentucky.
The Agriculture Development Fund from the tobacco funds is critical to where Kentucky agriculture is right now. I think it's been a tremendous asset and a benefit, and in general, I mean, no farm wants to farm like an island, so we definitely want to see all farms around us keep farming. When you decide to go organic and you haven't been, it's not you can do one or you can do the other. It's the transition that's what puts you out of business.
There became a need as we went forward. The Ag Development Board went forward. There was visualized a need for a fund of money to be set aside that could fund infrastructure, that could fund people that were interested in beginning to farm, starting to farm. So the Ag Finance Corporation came into existence. The Ag Development Board set aside $3 million originally to go into that area. And the focus of the Ag Finance Corporation was to serve somewhat as a bank, I guess you will, a lending agency that would work with existing lenders in communities.
The Governor's Office of Agricultural Policy, as well as other federal, state, local government agencies, have been instrumental in getting us started in this business. Grant, loan opportunities, regulatory authority to give us the permits in a timely fashion and to really get the business off the ground. It's 100% farmer owned. We're bringing the corn from Christian County, Trigg County, Todd County, Logan County, and feeding the ethanol right back here into the local economy, the distillers right back into the local economy, even the CO2 back into the local economy. We're turning that dollar right here.
Everything we've done has pretty much been on a shoestring. You know, we didn't know if it was going to work. You can't afford to take a lot of money and put into it, so we try as cheaply as possible. And these are large steps that we're taking. And from the time I go from a handful of seed to have something ready for retail sale, 3 to 5 years, it's a long time to sit on investments. So when the Ag Development Board came along and had tobacco settlement money, it was recommended to us that we seek that. We were told that we were the kind of thing that they were looking for.
We think that Kentucky made a unbelievably wise decision to put a certain amount of its tobacco settlements funds into a mechanism that went back to helping those tobacco-dependent farmers.
With what we worked out with them was they gave us some monies to help us on our initial building and in our first, I think, 3 grain bins. But a part of the bargain with that was, and with all the ag development monies, they want to benefit as many people as possible, create jobs, and spread the money around. They didn't want to just give a big pot of money to any one individual. So part of the bargain was that we put as many people into production as we could.
Aside from the beef cattle production program, which has been one of the major emphases of the ag development funding, we had the introduction of goats into central Kentucky. We had horticulture initiatives, tremendous, a lot of vegetable production that has taken place not only in central Kentucky but western Kentucky. We have seen aquaculture fully explored in the state. A lot of initiatives have gone forward here in the state. If these funds have done nothing else for Kentucky agriculture, they have allowed us to see what will work and what will not work effectively.
we've had a lot of good ideas in Kentucky agriculture for a long time. But until this fund came along, we never had any dollars to put with them. And, you know, it doesn't take many dollars to incite some people to put them over the edge to try that new thing. And we've been able to do that with this money.
Kentucky was the only state, upon receiving those funds, that chose to invest 50% of those funds into the advancement of agricultural production, to take Kentucky away from tobacco dependency, if you will, away from that one cash crop that we were so dependent on. The decision was made by the governor and our legislature to invest 50% of those tobacco development funds into agriculture, to be able to diversify agriculture, to be able to bring agriculture forward away from the dependency on tobacco that it had traditionally had.
I would say that every agriculture organization in this state, the #1 priority of their organization is maintaining that fund. And that comes up every time the budget is written. You know, it's not something that has been approved from here on out.
And I'll have to say, quite honestly, I guess it's the only time in the history of Kentucky agriculture that the whole of Kentucky agriculture worked together to do this. All the commodity groups, the University of Kentucky and all the regional universities, Kentucky Farm Bureau, the Department of Agriculture, everybody. I can't even name the whole list, but the point is everybody worked collectively, hand in hand, to bring this about. And that was a tremendous event to see transpire in itself, much less the results that came from that effort.